When I was a kid and in high school and college, I mean, it was records. Everybody had a record collection back then. The big thing was to have an awesome stereo system and a vinyl collection. People are getting into vinyl for like all different reasons now. You know, a lot of people who never got out of it are glad to see that they can build their collections again. I mean, we have a lot of customers who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s or older, and they just still enjoy listening, you know, the experience of listening to vinyl. Then you have a lot of people who are, you know, in high school or college, and they're just getting into vinyl.
It's one thing for a few outliers to understand what it is that makes vinyl so cool and worth getting into, but it's a whole other thing for it to become that kind of a trend. A lot of the boom is being fueled by the dollars of people who, until the last few years, never had a turntable, you know, or didn't even necessarily grow up with a lot of vinyl.
I think a lot of this is a reaction to, you know, how much in this day and age it's just online and digital. It's a different listening experience. You know, when you're listening to something on your computer, a lot of times it's just background music. But when you're playing a record, or a CD for that matter, you have to take the disc out and put it in the player. With the record, you have to turn it over when it's halfway down.
One of the things I like about listening to vinyl is that there is a commitment level that makes you, you know, pay attention in a way that other formats don't. I think that it kind of changes your relationship to music.
There's also the collectability aspect of it. A lot of the collectors, particularly younger collectors, are buying them not just to listen to, but as an investment, as something that people will always want. It's a collectible, but it's a practical collectible. It's not just something that'll sit on the shelf, it's you could actually enjoy it. So I think there's definitely an aspect of that that's contributing to the vinyl resurgence in the last decade or so. The growth has been absolutely phenomenal. I don't think anybody really would have predicted the level that it's gotten to.
At CD Central, you can see use of space in that place. A good bit of the real estate's taken up with vinyl, so I think that definitely reflects that it's booming in Lexington for sure.
When we started, we didn't sell any vinyl. Actually, very few stores in 1995 were doing much at all with vinyl because it had almost died out as a format. And then really starting in the early 2000s, we started seeing more interest in collecting vinyl, and that's snowballed over the years, and particularly in the last 10 years or so, there's been a lot more interest and a lot more availability of vinyl records. And in some of the smaller communities in eastern Kentucky, I'm seeing new stores popping up and having some success. So that's really cool to see that happening.
I feel like people are going to continue to enjoy listening to records, and that sales ought to be fairly safe. The experience of listening on vinyl, especially the warm, full sound that it has, I can't see people turning away from that.